Hello from the second age of reason. Today's topic is genetically engineered life forms and their impact on society. Case in point, some of the grains we now have been genetically engineered so that when you plant them, the seeds come up and they've either been produced by cross-pollination and cross-breeding to generate this specific hybrid, or the genes have been specifically spliced and put into the right form to produce a more hardy or more productive form of plant. That's only one part of the science. Now, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor or a researcher, but I do know some things about scientific method. And it occurs to me that there's some testing that they do. First, they test probably for that the plant will grow, produce seeds, drop the seeds, and those seeds are viable. They'll produce more plants. Secondly, they'll test that the seeds produce pollen, and its pollen is compatible with other similar species of corn or wheat or whatever it is, or soybeans. And then that means that it will probably coexist with the other species. The other thing that they need to test probably is if it is edible, so that they probably would take this corn as a result and feed it to laboratory rats for a period of time to prove that it's okay. So that comes to mind that those are probably the standard tests that they do, and after they pass, the FDA approves it, it goes out, the patent is granted, and then they control that particular species of corn. One set of problems might come with that as time goes by and that species of corn intermingles with other corns, suddenly that patented gene string is in all the other species. And in some cases that might be a cause for litigation, which in my opinion is unjustified because it's a natural process. It's something that would happen in nature. Secondly, the other thing that comes to mind is I don't know if they've done thorough enough testing, because I don't know if you've heard, but there seems to be a shortage of bees. Have you seen the price of honey? Do you have any idea why there might be a shortage of bees, honeybees particularly? Well, one cause might have been some hybrid killer bees that were let go a couple decades ago, working their way through the system, making it less productive. But it might also be that these genetically engineered strains of corn, when they get pollinated, the bees notice that maybe that pollen tastes different. I don't know if they ever tested this corn on bees for pollination. They may take that pollen and cross-pollinate everything, but then they take it back to the hive, where it's turned into honey, supposedly, and then that honey gets fed to the queen, who produces more eggs for the honeybees. But if maybe that honey doesn't taste right, and the queen doesn't produce the correct kind of eggs, or doesn't produce viable eggs, you may suddenly find that you're having a problem with honeybees going extinct because genetically engineered plant life is producing pollen and nectar that is unpalatable to the honeybees. And this will cause the honeybees to become less and less and more extinct when they should be pollinating crops and trees and plants all over the place. I mean, there's probably a risk of famine from something like this. It's something that I think might be worth checking into more closely, the taste buds of bees and the flavor of genetically engineered honey and nectar. So I thought I would bring this up as a science thing to research for someone in case it hasn't already been checked into, because genetically engineered corn may be edible to humans and rats. Well, rats first, hopefully, and then humans. But if it's fairly new, how do you know the long-term effects? How do you know that that corn interacts normally with your digestive system over years and decades? We don't necessarily know that for sure until after the fact. So that's why I think we shouldn't be too quick to put these new ideas and new technologies in place, because even though they grow bigger corn and more corn or grains or soybeans or whatever the crop may be, there may be another price to pay on the end of it. So just thought I'd leave that thought with you, and we'll be seeing you.